So this is going to be an instructional / overview video of the 2025 Hymer MLT 580 Xperience. First of all, we're going to go around the external of the vehicle and then we will go into the habitation area. The first thing I'm going to show you is how to open the bonnet. And the main reason for this, one, obviously so you know how to open the bonnet, but then two, I'll show you where the terminal points in case you need to jump start the vehicle for any reason. So if you come to the passenger door, open the passenger door, you are seeing the footwell just down here, a black lever. All you need to do is pull that down once and that will then release. While we are in the cab area, we have got blackout blinds, driver and passenger door. So all you need to do is pinch this tab, slide the blind across, and then they meet at the end on a magnetic strip. And same on the front window. Here, pinch this tab and they will slide and meet in the middle on a magnetic strip. So as you can see, I have now got the bonnet open. Just so you know, the bonnet support arm is on the left hand side there. Here is where we have your AdBlue fill, because this is a diesel engine. And then if we need to jump start the vehicle for any reason, so we've got our positive terminal point, which is in red here. All you need to do is push this in, twist and push, and that will then obviously give you the terminal point. And then your negative terminal point is just down here on this brass bolt here. Obviously down here we have got your screen wash fill as well. So now we are going to carry around the external of the motorhome, currently on the passenger side. If you want to fill up the motorhome with diesel, you need to open the passenger door, and that will give you access to this cover here. And then you can obviously fill up with diesel like so. The door keeps this secure when it's shut. We've got two lockers here. One in the belly locker is going to be your leisure battery. So you have got a little stay here what keeps hold of this door open. So on this vehicle we have got one lithium leisure battery. You can touch here and it gives you a gauge on the screen as well. Here we've got a master switch, so if we are not using the motorhome for winter, we can isolate the full van completely, so you can shut the power off to all the vehicle. Above that we've got your next locker. So this has got your main breaker in here, so on the 240 volt side. So this is where you need to come to if anything trips on the vehicle on the 240 volt side. This will only happen when you plug into campsite. Most of the time it is the campsite post that has tripped, so try a different connector on the post, or just another reason as well is when it does trip is if you've turned your heating on full whack on the highest electric, sometimes that draws a lot of current. Here we've got obviously your e-box, so this is all your 12 volt fuses for the habitation. So this will do everything, radio, you've got your fridge in here, absolutely everything on 12 volt. And then this little device in the corner here, this black valve with the blue button, that is called a frost protect valve. So that valve is actually protecting your boiler. So currently that is in the open position. How I know that is because this blue button down here is currently stuck out. If I want to shut this valve, all I need to do is twist the diamond valve on top, push the blue button in. When the blue button stays in, that means that valve is completely shut. And basically when I fill up my boiler with water, that means the water's not going to drain out. But the great thing about this valve, it's called a frost protection valve, because what happens when it hits 3 degrees or less, the magnet inside it will trigger and basically it will pop like so, the button will come out and the water will drain from the boiler. So it's just protecting the boiler really, especially in winter. Behind that there is a little blue tap valve as well, So that little blue tap valve is just any excess pipe work in the vehicle, so you do need to open and shut this when you are filling up your pipe work, your full system. So the tap at the back is for your cool pipe work. This frost protect valve is for your boiler. So obviously you need to shut both of them valves to fill up the motorhome with water. Next we have your external flue. So you need to keep this clear at all times, as it does get quite hot, and also this is where the fumes exhaust from when the boiler is running on gas. Your next locker, we do have your toilet cassette. So if we want to take the toilet cassette out to empty or clean, what we need to do is lift this green tab up here. So if you lift this up, pull the cassette towards you, that will then release. So now if we want to empty the cassette, what we need to do is this nozzle on the left, twist it outwards, take the green cap off, and then if we tilt up the cassette, that will pour out. But if we put our thumb on the button at the top and hold the button in, that lets air into the top of the cassette, so all the fluids flow out a lot faster. Other than that, you can open the cassette blade and clean internally with a hose pipe if needed. Once finished, all you need to do is align it and then push it back into place. And the main thing here, you want to make sure that that green tab is down secure, so then in transit it's not going to slide in and out. Here we have your freshwater fill. So all you need to do is use your habitation key, take the cap off, put the hose pipe in. When the water starts to come out, then obviously your freshwater tank is full. Obviously before we do fill anything in the motorhome, we do need to shut all the drain valves, which we'll get to in a moment, where the freshwater tank is in the garage. This one has been fitted with a gas flow system. So as you can see, we've got a hose coming to the gas external. So this is where you take the cap off and fill the gas up externally. And then inside, as you can see, we've got two tanks. We've got all your adapters for Spain and main Europe. And then obviously we've got yellow valve here to turn on the gas itself from the individual tank. And then we have got a changeover valve here. So if I point it to the left side, I'm taking gas from the left tank. If I twist it all the way to the right, I'm taking obviously from the right hand side tank. And there is a little gauge on top there. As you can see, they are full, so they are in green. If you just give them a wiggle, you'll see the gauge does move as well. Also in here, you've got a grey hose. Basically, this grey hose is an extension piece for your grey waste. So if you can't directly drive over a grid to get to empty your grey waste, you can extend it about a metre, so then you can reach a grid at the side of the road. And the last compartment we have on the passenger side is going to be your garage door. So these are on gas struts. As you can see, we've got lots of tie down points here on this rail all the way around. You've got a rail at the rear and in the ceiling of the garage, so you can tie down a lot of things. You've got storage shelving up here. You've got obviously garage lights as well. You want to make sure you turn these off when obviously you're shutting the garage, just because if the 12 volt system is on, they will stay on. You've got your makeup bed area in here, your awning winder, and you've got loads of bits and bobs which come with the Hymer inflation kit, all the manuals. And then here, which we'll get to when I get on the other side, is going to be where you need to open or close the valve for the freshwater tank, which we will get to. Here as well, obviously there's a vent for the heating, so the garage is heated as well. Obviously if you don't want the air to come in here, you can isolate that as well. So now we are going on the driver's side of the habitation. So the first locker we come to again is going to be the garage. On this side we do have your external shower. So this is great. Obviously you've got a tap here, and then also on the shower head it has got a trigger point as well. And then above that we've got two 40-volt sockets. So obviously when we're on mains hookup at campsite they will work, and then you've got a 12-volt socket directly above as well. And then inside here, take this cover off. It's hard to show you, but basically that black valve is how you drain and close the freshwater tank. So the instructions are on the cover here. So obviously the bottom one, if you open it twice, obviously it will open the valve completely and drain out. The right, obviously 2 times to the right will close the valve completely. But then at the top one, if you want to travel with 20 litres, basically close the valve completely, fill up the water, and then if you want 20 litres, a quarter turn of open on the valve, on the black valve, will then drain the freshwater tank to a roughly 20 litres for travelling. So that is that black valve just there to open and close the freshwater tank. And then you've got a cover which just clips on like so. Garage light on this side. Here we've got obviously mains hookups. As you can see I'm connected to shore at the moment, so this will obviously charge the leisure battery, the vehicle. It will also obviously give you two 40-volt sockets, mains. Directly below that we have got your grey waste. So this is obviously what I was saying, if you need to extend to get to a grid just there, then obviously you connect onto that with a hose and then you've got an extension piece. To open and close this valve is controlled in the driver's cab, which we will get to. Here we have external barbecue point. So you've got a tap here, and then all you need is a quick release connection to go onto the end of here. And then you've got obviously external gas for a barbecue. We've got your data plate just down here, electric step, and then obviously you've got an awning light and a porch light. And now we will go into the habitation area. So we've got blackout blind on the habitation door. Also we have got a fly screen. One thing to keep in mind on the fly screen is just, if you have got it open, is make sure it's not windy, because if the wind gets over the door, that bin could potentially go through the fly screen and then potentially damage it, which you don't want to do. We've got some controls here, obviously a plug socket, you've got your electric step control, and then we've got lights. One light, so obviously the awning light, and then the rest are for the internal of the habitation. So now we're in the habitation area. So the first thing I'm going to show you is just on here we have got, obviously you've got loads of controls on the steering wheel. You've got cruise control, speed limit, volume. It's all connected to the entertainment media. We've got obviously climate control down here, and then there's two buttons here. Obviously you've got stop start here, but then two buttons just below here. So the one on the left, this is going to be your grey waste release. So if I want to empty the grey waste tank, I need to open so, like so, and the red light's on. So basically what that's doing is opening the valve, and then obviously with gravity the grey waste will empty out of the tank. Here, this is a great little feature, this step one. Basically if you get comfy, ready to set off, you start the engine, you'll hear a beep. That means the step is out. All you need to do is press this button, look in your mirror, and the step will automatically go back in. So next we've got, above the habitation door, we have got your Hymer control panel. I'm going to try and show you this the best as possible, but it's hard with the lighting on. Let me see if I can turn some lights off to try and show it better. So here on the left hand side we've got 12 volts. So when it's in the orange, that means it's obviously on. If I turn the 12 volt system off, then obviously it doesn't light up. Next to it we've got a plug socket, as you can see. So the plug socket will light up when I'm plugged into mains. As you can see externally, I was plugged in. If this doesn't light up, you need to check your breaker or check the campsite post. This first thing to check when you do plug in is check here. If that is showing that obviously you're connected, then obviously you are connected. If you're plugged in, it doesn't light up, there's a fault somewhere. Could be a few things, like I said, it could be the breaker, could be the campsite post, or it could be actually a faulty cable. Here we've got obviously some basic information. You've got your vehicle battery level, your mains battery level, and then you have your fresh water and grey waste. On your commercial, you've got your 12 volt lights in the habitation, so you can turn that on and off from here. You can turn the brightness up and down so that it does it all together, and also you can change the light temperature on the right hand side as well. Below that we've got your fridge, so you can turn the fridge freezer on from here, or obviously you can turn it on from the fridge itself. So this is doing a lot of the same thing. You can either do it on obviously this control panel, everything, or turn it on from the main control panel. Personal obviously is lights at the rear of the habitation, so same again, you can turn them on and off and dim them. And temperature. Installation, so we've got heater, so we can turn the heating on from here, or we can turn it on from the Truma control panel, which you will get a separate link on the email of just the Truma control panel. But this is on diesel heating, diesel, electric, or you can do both. If you're on both, basically when you're at a campsite you've got electric. If you put it on both, the boiler is an intelligent boiler. It will actually automatically select the best source it needs. So if the electric is enough, it will use the electric. If it needs the diesel for extra fuel, then obviously it will kick in. You got a 12 volt switch again there. Boiler, so this is your warm water. And then your water pump here. So obviously you need to turn your water pump on when you want to prime your water system. Vehicle details, so you've got fresh water, grey waste again, power, showing your battery volts, state of charge, remaining charge time. Shows obviously we're connected to shore. Solar panel, so it's showing your solar voltage and current. Chassis information, showing the mileage of the vehicle. Showing the washer fluid for the windscreen is okay, meaning it's full. Fuel level, AdBlue level, central lock-in, wireless sensors which you can connect onto this as well. So that is the habitation control panel. It is quite overwhelming, but like I say, majority of it is doing mirroring basically the master control panels. We have obviously reading lights up here, and they have got USB points as well. Obviously we've got the seats swiveled. You got this table, which is obviously you can slide it around. It's hard to do it with one hand, but yeah, it just slides in and out. And also this is an adjustable. This lowers down to obviously make up the dining to berth. Got your two travel seats. This one has got a TV in it. To release the TV, you push this bracket in here, this button, and that releases the arm, and then obviously you can swing the TV out. If I want to put the TV back in place, in the corner up there is some guides. You just need to tuck it into them guides, and then it will then click back into place on the bracket for travel. Here as well we've got 240 volt socket, we've got USB and Type-C plugs, so you've got charging points up there. We've got up here, this is your Truma control panel, so this is for your boiler, for your hot water and heating. So I'll send you a video separately on the email for this. The only difference from the video is this is diesel heating and electric. On the video it would just show gas. and electric. So next we'll go over the kitchen area. So we've got a pull-out table here. Let's pull that out. You've got a 3-ring gas burner. So on the gas burner, obviously first thing you need to do is turn on the gas at the tanks, and then all you need to do is push the knobs in, prime the system with the igniter on at the same time. Once you get a steady flow of gas after about 30 seconds, you do need to hold them in for about 30 seconds because this thermocouple down here needs to heat up to stay alight. One safety advice we do recommend is obviously this glass cover. Keep the glass cover up after using it, just because of obviously the temperature difference in the glass and the stove, you could potentially shatter it. In this drawer here, this top drawer, we've got some internal gas valves. So what these gas valves are for is if one of the appliances, if the stove goes faulty, we can then isolate that appliance and still use of the other appliances, your boiler or fridge or your oven on gas. So these are good appliances. I think these gas valves are actually, there's only 2. It looks like it's the oven and the gas hob. So if obviously the hob goes faulty, you can still use the oven. Here we have your tap. So if we want to prime our water system in our motorhome, what we need to do is fill up all the freshwater tank. So obviously shut all the valves. So we need to shut the freshwater valve in the garage. We need to then go to the side of the vehicle. In the service locker, I call it, is where your frost protect valve is. You need to shut that black valve, the diamond on it, push the button in, and then obviously the blue little tap behind it, shut that as well. Once all them valves are shut, we're going to fill up the freshwater tank from external. Water starts to come out, the tank is full. So now we're going to prime our system. What we're going to do, turn on the 12-volt system on the habitation control panel, then turn on the water pump on the control panel, and once the pump is lit up, we're going to come to the tap. We'll open the tap on the cold side. Once you get a steady flow of water, that means obviously all the air has come out the pipework. Now we want to fill up our boiler because we want hot water at some point. Twist it to the other side. What this is going to do is take 10 litres roughly from your freshwater tank into your boiler. Your boiler holds around 10 to 12 litres of fresh water. Once the water has gone into the boiler and then it comes through the tap at a steady flow, that means the boiler is primed as well. So you can shut that. So the water is ready to use on demand. The only thing you do need to do is obviously your hot water is not instant hot water. You do need to boil that water. So obviously, if you're turning it on electric on 2 kilowatts, it will heat up in about an hour or a bit shorter. And then obviously if it's on the solid fuel, you'll do it in a shorter time. All the windows, skylights, got blackout blinds as you can see, and fly screens. One thing on here, so this obviously skylight does open up, but this is on a wind mechanism. So all you need to do is wind. But one thing is when you are closing it back up, is don't over tighten it because they are on plastic cogs internally and could damage quite easily. Obviously we've got twin single beds. You can make up with that infill here. If you do make up the infill, we do need to pull out this hidden step. All you need to do is lift it up. That will then fold out here to give you obviously steps to climb up because you've infilled this bed area to extend it. Under this one we've got hanging space and there is a light in there as well, so you might want to turn that off because that will stay on until you turn it off. And the beauty about this one, so this has been a factory order, so you've got 2 singles, but this has got an extension piece. So on some of the 580 Xperiences, this cupboard goes all the way floor to ceiling, but some people are taller, so obviously this bit, which is a great feature, has been cut out of the cupboard to give that full length of a single person's bed, and obviously on the other side is a shorter single bed. But like I say, if normally without this, that would be a cupboard. So you're only losing that much space, which when you gain extra leg room in bed, that's probably a better option than obviously a little bit of a cupboard you've lost. Obviously you still get the cupboard above and you still get it below as well, so you don't lose it all, which is great. Again, you got another light in here as well, which obviously you need to turn off because it will stay on. Storage again all the way at the top. As you can see, we've got some lights here which are powered by Type-C. They're on the rail there. And then we've got our fridge freezer. So you can, the beauty of this, you can open it both ways. So if you are in bed and you want a snack, you can open it from the bed, which is great. Or obviously if we're in the kitchen area, we just open it the opposite direction. So I'm going to show you how to turn this on and off from here. Currently I've got it switched on. So all you need to do is press and hold that knob in and then it will light up if you've not turned it on from the control panel. If we want to change these settings, push this knob in and as you can see it will select the one what is lit up. So I want to change my temperature. I can move it up or down like so by clicking on it. Obviously the higher the temperature, obviously the cooler the fridge gets. As you can see, this battery symbol, this is a compressor fridge, so this is actually running on the Ledger battery all the time. And then you've got some other settings lower down, so you can turn on a beep and stuff like that on there. So if you are going away for the weekend, I would turn this on an hour before you travel, because obviously this is cooling down while you're loading your van up. But yeah, these do get quite cold, so some people do turn it up to get it cooled fast and then turn it down halfway. If I want to turn this off, press and hold the knob and it will then shut down like so. Obviously above we've got obviously your grill, your oven, sorry. You got your knob up here which you need to push in to ignite. You got your igniter and there is a light in there as well. In here we've got obviously your shower cubicle, your integrated cubicle, so the 580 extends this cubicle. So obviously if you want to use the paneling for the shower, you do need to take out these boards which create obviously your shower cubicle. You don't need to prime your tap on here or your basin tap, as obviously it will just vent out any air in the pipe when you're ready to use. Got some light switches just down here. Here we have got your toilet flush. So the blue button is going to use fresh water when the pump is on and swill out the bowl. You got an indicator to the left with 3 dots. That will give you a rough gauge of your toilet cassette being full. So at the minute obviously there's no lights on because it's empty, but when it gets to the top, when it lights up red at the top, that means it is full. And then you will open the toilet blade with this as well. So you've got some hanging space in here, so obviously to dry stuff out. So that is the instructional / overview video complete of the 2025 Hymer MLT 580 Xperience. If you need any more information, leave a comment below, or you can always drop us an email or give us a call.